blowing your fucking horn. You can't wait the light to turn green. Dumbass. I'll wait till more people come on. Good morning, Lynn. Oh, it's going well. On my way to Panera. They're transferring me over. They transferred me. Oh, hey, Dorian. Happy Valentine's Day, y'all, too. Well, I'll talk with y'all while I'm on my way to work. Happy Valentine's Day, y'all. Hopefully everybody gets what they want for this Valentine's Day from their significant others. I guess I wouldn't get too much of anything, but I'll go ahead and wish y'all a happy Valentine's Day. Lynn, Dorian, somebody else is on here. I don't know who it is. But anyways, let me go ahead and give you a small brief recap. So anyway, so the store that I was helping out last week, they had granted my wishes over the weekend at the other store. So I'm going to have to go there right now. And let me tell you, there's going to be some mad people. And let me tell you the reason why. Not only did I transfer to the other store, so did this other girl, well, not girl, but woman, because she's way much older than me as well. And it was, in my opinion, way too many drivers at the other location, and they weren't getting any orders. At least not enough for me to drive all the way over there to Dunwoody for that little bit of pay. So I told them I was not happy there, and I said I'm not going to be delivering for free. They said, you're not delivering for free, you're getting paid, da-da-da. No, I'm driving for free because if it takes me 35 minutes to go to the Panera just to make $4.94, I only had one delivery, and then they scheduled me from 11:30 a.m. till 5, knowing well that most people place orders around lunch, that if you needed me to be there, then you would have me come in at 10:30, not 11:30. And then look at me like I'm crazy when I said it, you know? So anyway, so over the weekend, on Saturday, I get an email, and I'm telling you, they need people. And I'm telling you, if you want to make some cash daily, meaning that they pay you your cash tips and the mileage, I would do it. So yesterday, let me tell you, I made $40.87 in cash tips, and that was I had 12 deliveries. 2 people didn't tip at all, and then they were standing there with an attitude when I got off the elevator, and just purposely, you know what? I said, bitch, you know what? Just move on, you know. Let me just, sign your receipt. Here's your lunch. Have a good day. I didn't even say have a good day. I just came to their lunch and just walked off, went onto my car, went to deliver to the next person, and that was it. Now, you will get some people, and then the other ones had $72 order at State Farm, I went there. They told you have to call them from downstairs because you just can't go upstairs to some of these office buildings. She comes downstairs, and I said it too. And I said, y'all not gonna leave a tip. I said, y'all ordered all this food, and well, I'm just a messenger to pick up the bag. Yeah, so all that lunch that you collected, nobody couldn't put in $1 each, or even $2, and they were black, of course. So I said, you know what? Regardless if you do Panera, if you do any of these food delivery apps, people attitudes towards tipping sucks. And the only reason why I'm not gonna too much really argue about the tipping when it comes to the Panera customer, because it's not frequent. My only thing that I have an issue with is how they assign the orders for the drivers. So I didn't work on Monday because I had to meet the plumber. So I didn't come to work Monday. So the other girl was there, the other lady was there, and she said that they were kind of pissed off because one guy, he comes out there every single day making $50, $60 in tips, almost close to 60 every day. And I was like, how in the world is he making $60 in tips every single day? And everybody else walks out there with 20, 25, maybe 30. So what he does is that he gets there and he gets control of the dispatch board. And because some customers get pre-tipped when they pay with their credit card with Panera, they can leave a tip, or they can leave a tip when you get there and they sign for it, and then they have to put the tip on there, and then you have to go back, turn in all the receipts. So if it was a big order, for instance, and say it was like 3 big orders and they already tipped $10, what he do is he'll turn around and try to assign all those orders to himself, grab those orders, and then he leaves with orders, 4 or 5 orders that's already tipped. It don't make a difference if they come late because they already tipped. And because they already tipped, he could take his time and deliver 3, 4 orders and get, $10, $15 each of those persons tipped. So he already came out with $30, $40 worth of cash tips. And then that's not even including the mileage. So if you add the mileage, which is another $5, $6, because, those because you get paid round trip. So that's what he was doing. It wasn't because he was the only driver and he was delivering all the orders. He was doing it because he was cherry picking. So I was like, So Monday, the African girl told me, lady rather, she said they were mad because he walked out there with 25. He walked out there with dollars in cash tips, and that was it. I think she said she made close to 40. No, the other guy, Enrique, came out, made $40. He came and made 25. So he left early. They usually walk out, him and Enrique leave out there at 2 o'clock, 2:30. Here they come. They ready to cash out. They collect their little 40-something bucks, and that's it. So I asked him yesterday. I said, "Oh, how was it yesterday?" Because I wasn't there. And he was like, it was kind of slow. I'm like, kind of slow, huh? So, I'm thinking to myself, okay, they trying to say it was slow. Well, they had this other lady from the other store. She came over there, but we didn't really need her. I'm like, since when? They always needed 4 people to do deliveries. You assholes. Dumbass. You so quick to damn cut somebody off, you almost flipped over. Stupid. So anyway, so they think it was slow because they had another person there, and now they could distribute the orders evenly because it used to be just 3 drivers, and they were all kind of you know get all the orders amongst themselves because they figured if somebody pre-tips, they could do it themselves, and they're not going to stay after 2 o'clock. They're going to go about their business. So the other guy, when he didn't make his little $59, $60 in cash tips, I heard he left at 1. He left early because I knew he was mad. He didn't make what he thought he was going to make because now they had another person there, and because they had another person there, once since they had another person there, he wasn't getting all those tips. So yesterday, the manager, he must have caught wind of it because you're not going to keep anybody there if you think you're going to have one person or a couple people manipulate how they get the orders and thinking you're going to leave the other people driving, picking up $2, $3 orders and getting tips or no tips at all. Bunch of bull crap. So yesterday, I made $40.87 of cash tips. Now, that's not including the $5 per hour plus the $8 per hour when I'm not delivering. So realistically, you could make anywhere from $30, $40, say, in maybe 2 hours. Yeah, maybe I say 2. In about 2 hours, you could make about that much, maybe more, but it's really not going to be. It's not going to be $60 every day, unless you're sitting there grabbing up all the catering orders or the orders that are big, huge orders and people pre-tip already. But one thing I could say is if you choose to work for Panera, just do it, set your availability Monday through Friday and maybe around 10 to 2. That's it. 10 to 2. Now, maybe 4 o'clock, but I've decided I'm not going to work till 4 o'clock because it depends who's there, the manager. Because yesterday they was trying to micromanage. When I left at 4 o'clock, actually, I need to tell them I left at 4:30. Sure, they get my time. I was locked onto a generic manager code. So, but yeah, I walked up there, made about $40, and everybody else made about the same. Because I looked at it, they made it all. When you cash out, it's on the screens. So everybody pretty much made about $38 yesterday between all of us. The other woman, she came in at 4 to 8. So in the evening time, she only had 2 deliveries. But that's pretty much it. But anyways, back to my original story. Now, where did the other people go? Y'all gonna leave, then I'll just tell my story briefly, and then I'll do. So, 1996 on Valentine's Day. That's when I first moved to Atlanta, and I remember moving to Atlanta. I lived in Grant Park, sharing a house with some other um, women that were in the house. It was an older woman who owned this big house up in Grant Park, and she rented out the rooms in her house. And I moved to Atlanta because of the IRS. So happens I had came to visit Atlanta prior to moving, and at the time when I was working at the IRS, I was like a clerk, and this was a time when they were like lines of people, like hundreds of people would be at the IRS to take this test, and it would be like maybe 2, 3, 400 people at one time taking this test. You had to take a test, math test, reading test, real generic, real simple. And I started there as a clerk, and I was working in receiving and control, which is basically the mailroom. And I worked there one season. I didn't even think I finished the whole season. I think I did finish it. I worked there for about a few months because it was seasonal at the time. And then I worked at Rich's, which is now Macy's, and North Point Mall. And I remember that was the Olympic year, 1996. The Olympics was in Atlanta. And at the time when I moved to Atlanta, like I said, in these 22 years of changes, I've seen some I've seen some major changes, especially the area when I first lived in Grant Park. Now, that area was up and coming at the time, meaning that it wasn't all a bunch of white folks, gentrification, but at the same time, people started buying homes and started investing, but it wasn't as it was now. And they didn't have hardly anything around there. Now, you go around Grant Park area, Moreland Avenue, it has changed like 3,000% different than what it used to be. It still has its raggedy hole in the wall places. It really do. It still has its pockets of poverty surrounding that area, but at the same time, it's being moved out. It's being changed considerably. Another thing that I found when I first moved to Atlanta, it used to be known as, Chocolate City is always known to be D.C., but Atlanta was known to be the Black Mecca. It was supposed to be black people who lived in Atlanta. They supposed to have things going on. We was able to buy houses. It was like I was able to find a job easily like this. Had no problems finding a job. I would be able to, if I was trying to apply for a position, I'll find another one within weeks, if not days. Black folks had it going. I won't say black people had it going on in Atlanta back then, but they were way. You seen a lot of people buying homes, and a lot of black folks moved out of Atlanta, the neighborhoods, the Fourth Ward, all those areas now. That's $600,000, $1 million, and all that stuff. They moved out of those neighborhoods because it was not desirable. They started moving out in the suburbs. They started moving out, even Stone Mountain. Let me tell you the difference. 1996, when I first moved to Atlanta, Stone Mountain was all, they used to say, oh, the Klan live out in, it's the Klan, the KKK, blah, blah. And there may be some truth to it, because Stone Mountain Park, I remember going there 1996, and even when I went there in 95, going into Stone Mountain Park, it was all these Confederate flags lined up along the main street. It was a whole bunch it was white people who lived over there. White people lived in Stone Mountain. I don't remember how Memorial Drive used to look like. Now, you always hear me talk about Memorial Drive when I used to do Uber Eats, and I said how I would never want to go to Memorial Drive. Conch City Market, Conch City Seafood Place, and all those raggedy, um, nasty places that that only thing they served was grease. They didn't have those stores like that back in 1995, 96, or even in the 90s. They said Memorial Drive used to have all these major department stores. It was DeKalb County, which DeKalb County I live in DeKalb County. It used to be the jewel of Atlanta. They said black people who lived in DeKalb County, they were like the second wealthiest black capital next to Montgomery County in Maryland. Lithonia, which is in DeKalb County, they were like black millionaires, I guess you could say. They had these big mansions, beautiful homes up there in Lithonia. And if you go there one day, if I ever decide to go over there and drive around, especially where New Birth, Bishop Eddie Long Church, along there, they had some beautiful homes back there. But you turn 2 blocks over, it was like you was straight up in the ghetto, drug infested. I mean, run down, whatever. Now, from 1996 to now, I've seen so many changes in Atlanta. It's not even the same what it used to be. It's not the same. Atlanta's not this black mecca like it used to be. In town in Atlanta is like predominantly white, you know, 30 something year old techie. Atlanta became one of more like a it's upcoming technology center. Now, I've seen a lot of videos made. I've seen a lot of videos made about people talking about Atlanta. And people says, oh, they don't know the truth. They don't know. They make these videos about why I moved to, some people came to Atlanta on the mega bus from Philly, from Detroit, from New York, and all these other, cities, California, just running to Atlanta. And they're like, oh, I'm going to try to, they trying to look for a job. To be honest, it's not there. You're not there is no opportunities in Atlanta anymore like it used to be. It's not a black mecca, and don't try to come down here and thinking you get a record deal, because nope. The Face Records and Jermaine Dupri and all these people, they used to be in Atlanta in the music scene. It's not there anymore. It's not there anymore. It's not. It's just not. You know. Now Atlanta went from being a music scene, hip hop. Anyone could, get a record deal with LaFace Records and who's the other, Jermaine Dupri and all of these other major deals, record deals that people used to flock to. It's not there anymore. Now Atlanta has become a um movie deal. Not movie. Yeah, movies. What the hell happened up here? Look at this, y'all. Let me turn the camera around. Lord Jesus. right, John, I'm back. They had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. How many damn police cars did we see? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It was like 7 police cars. 3 of them are marked, meaning that it's a black car and you don't see that's police. I mean, they all stopped at this intersection. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 police cars. And there's no accident, nothing. Let me tell you what I think. See, this area where I'm driving to, Buford Highway, ain't nothing but Mexicans up and down the damn street, up and down the street, up and down, up and down. And they've been at this little location, intersection. Hey, look at this. End gerrymandering now. Join us at 159georgiatogether.org. Whatever. Anyway, about 3 weeks ago, and I hope they catch these 2 monsters. Well, they already got 1 monster in jail. They need to put a bullet in his damn head. Anyway, in broad daylight, they had kidnapped and held this 12-year-old boy, dragged him in his apartment complex into the apartment and raped him. Raped the little boy. Two of them, one of them is known to have AIDS, and they looking for this man. Well, not even man, because he's not a man. He's a monster. And it happened right along here, one of these apartment complexes. I don't know which one it is. I can't remember. But I know they should be scouting this area. Not to say that this person would still be around, but they're looking for. I never heard if they updated it. They found that damn monster. So another thing I think they're probably doing is doing that thing, stopping people being in this country illegally, even though DACA is on hold or whatever the case may be. But I think they really starting to crack down on a lot of these illegal immigrants, particularly Mexicans, that's been living. Okay, whatever. Move that out the way. Whatever the I know they've been trying to be cracking down on a lot of these illegal immigrants, Mexicans particularly, and I think they just targeting this area because this is a highly populated Mexican area change that I've seen since I moved here. In '96, Buford Highway had a whole bunch of Mexicans up and down the Buford Highway. It was very segment in terms of different people from different countries. You could go to one part of Buford Highway, it was all people from Cambodia. If you moved to another part, they were Mexican, and if you moved to another part, they were people from Africa, different countries in Africa. If you moved to one part of Buford Highway, it was Asian and Korean. I'm not talking about all the way down Buford Highway, Korean. I'm talking about each, as you was driving down this Buford Highway, you've seen different communities, different Asian restaurants, different, African type restaurants. Now, all those dang Koreans, they've been here after 2-3 generations. No, I would say 2 generations, not 3. After 2 generations, they moved all the way to Gwinnett County, and they stepped up. There's a part of Duluth. There's all Asian Korean, and they got their own big bank. And I ain't talking about no small little community bank. They got this huge banks, and they live. And I've been in some communities. I'm thinking I ain't saying that white folks are the only ones who could live well, but I'm thinking, this is a nice neighborhood, and the whole area is the whole subdivision is Asian. big old beautiful houses and stuff. Now, the changes that I've seen from 96 when I moved here to now is now a lot of them are from the Middle Eastern countries. They're from Ethiopia. They're from India. That's another thing. It's like it's still going to be heavily populated with Mexicans, but it's also going to be heavily populated with either Indian and Mexican, and then people from those African countries. It's not going to be all black mega making money. And I also seen the changes since I lived here in Atlanta is that the black power of influence or money is gone. It's gone. At one point when I moved to Atlanta, I mean yes, there's still some black restaurants, there's still some black businesses, but it's not abundant like it used to be. It's not like a whole lot, you know. Some of the most well known black restaurants in Atlanta is gone. Big Daddy's and Cascade. I don't even know if that's still around. I doubt it. Um, there used to be this place, Ghetto Burger. There used to be this old woman. She passed away. She would curse at you. You couldn't change the menu. You can't change what's on that cheese on that hamburger or something. And you couldn't talk on the cell phone when you go to the restaurant. It's like a real small place. And I've never been there before. And she was like one of the, you know, staples, I guess you could say, of Atlanta. She passed away about 3 years ago. And I don't know if the burgers were good. I don't know. I spoke to one person, they didn't too much care for the burger. They said they didn't know what the big fuss about was. But I don't think it was about the food being good. I think it was about the longevity, like the varsity. Everybody just sworn up and down that the varsity was so good, and they had a couple of older people who've been working there for like 40 years, and they used to have this tradition of yelling out the meal like 2 dogs on a whatever, something, 2 dogs coated with white snow, whatever. I don't know. I'm just making it up. But that means hot dog with slaw or something, but they would say it in a special kind of way, and people sworn up and down that was the best hot dog in the world. I ate that one time, and I was like, this is nasty. I was like, nope. I said, I don't know what the big face, what was the big fuss about the varsity. The food was, I think it was a little bit too overpriced, and it wasn't that good to me. I remember eating it years ago, and I said maybe I just went on a bad day, but I didn't too much care for it myself. But that's like a Georgia staple. It's like the Waffle House. People sworn up and down the Waffle House is the best thing ever. But I said, I don't see what's so special about it. The bacon's like thin crisp. It don't even taste like bacon. I mean, it looked like some cheap scale of bacon. The hash brown looked like it was like the bottom of the pot that they just give you. It was so burnt overly cooked. And then you tell them don't overcook it. It's raw. I'm saying, well, shoot, I could cook a better breakfast than that. But people sworn up and down, ooh, Waffle House. They sworn up and down it's the best thing ever. And to me, I'm not crazy about the Waffle House either. And if I ever go to a Waffle House, trust me, somebody has to, it depends who they got to cook. If you got someone who could really good fillet,